Hello everybody, welcome. Welcome. So basically, in this wonderful reading that I'm going to provide you, this is going to be for Friday, June 6th, Saturday, June 7th, and Sunday, June 8th of 2025. So this is going to look like an all signs reading, but you know what? This is going to be just for the clarifications of how it's going to be. So I'll be doing a little bit differently, But the way how this is, the way how it's gonna be in that way, it's gonna be a co-create of how it seems to be. And when there are times that you need to understand, it's the way how it is. It's the way how you're going to be sincere, be how you can be authentic and be reliable how it is. Right. This is the way of how it is. Where there you need to understand about the basic needs of how you're feeling, how you're going to get what you want, and that's how it is, right? There are things you must learn first in order to do that, right? You have to pay attention on whether you're feeling okay, if you're feeling dignity, if you're having self-respect. That's the way it seems to be. But you need to understand that there is a little pressure point. There is lots of, there's always a silver lining, or whatever it is, right? You have to remember that if you get along with whoever you're getting along with, whether if it's your grandparents or your parents or family members, whatever it is, you have to pay attention about staying positive. Yes, you need to understand that, but the way how this is, you need to be who you are and stay, away of how it is, and you're thinking, okay, well, everything's fine. I know what to do. I got this, and this is the way it seems to be. This is the way it seems to be, and you have to understand what the way how it is in one way or another. You have to think, okay, well, you know what, I got this. I know what to do, and that's how it seems to be, right? That's why when you do exactly what you're told to do, you have to be responsible in how you're feeling. That's how it seems to be in that way, okay? So this Virgo card, it says, surrender. I can release my need to control. That's the way it goes, right? So whether you are, having your own surrender, if you're waving the white flag, whatever it is, you have to be sincere. You have to do exactly what you want, So when you have surrender, you pay attention on how you're feeling, and that's how it is, right? So when you have surrender, you pay attention on how you're feeling, how you're going to get what you want. That's how it seems to be. But then that's the way it goes, right? That's how it seems to be. And when you do that, that's how it is, right? So there are ways that you must learn first in order to do that. But that's how it seems to be. So you have to be sincere and dedicated of what you want, what you need, right? That's how it seems to be, okay? So that's how it is. So, this is the way it seems to be, and of how it is. So basically, I know that this is going to be maybe like an all signs reading, but it's a little bit different. That's what I'm going to say it, right? So it's like, this is the way it goes. And when you're wondering why I'm doing a one card reading, because it's going to see what's happening with every single zodiac sign that's happening, right? So you have to believe that and think, okay, well, it's the same for me. I need to do exactly what I need to do, right? So that's how it needs to be. So whether you need to understand that, whether how you're going to be having your own pressure point, you have to do that as it needs to be, right? So you have to do exactly what you're told to do, and you have to be responsible in how you're going to do that. But that's how it seems to be. You have to know what it takes, because that's how it seems to be in that way. So let's see what's going on here. Alright? So basically, in this way, about having this Ten Pentacles reverse, it means that you have a career, right? Everybody has a career, right? So when you have a career, you pay attention whether you're like drawing, whether you like face painting, whether you like acting, whether you like different kinds of things, right? When you have your own career, you pay attention on it, right? So it does remember about how it seems to be, right? You have to know about how it is, right? So you have to understand that this is the way it seems to be. You need to understand about how it is one or another, and you think, alright, well, this is the way it seems to be. I got this, but how I'm going to do it. Because you have to understand that, right? There are ways that you must learn first in order to do that, and you need to be sincere. You need to be dedicated. You need to have your own, reflections of how you're feeling. But that's how it seems to be, right? That's how it kind of goes. So we're gonna figure out from the middle to the left, middle to the right. So the Emperor's reversed, followed the Nine of Wands is upright, followed the Ten of Cups is upright, followed the Seven of Cups is upright. Yeah. So in this way, you'll be focusing on a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. You can deal with another Leo, Aries, Sagittarius as well. So you think that everything's completed, everything is like you wanted, what you're going to do. That's how it seems to be. But when you have the Seven Cups, it does represent illusion, right? There is a way about having a deja vu moment, right? Whether you have it or not, right? But when you have it, you think, okay, well, this is fine. I need to do it. It's a yes. But there are things you must learn first in order to do that, right? You have to pay attention on how you're feeling. It's based on that, right? So when you have to have your own dignity, your own self-respect, your own ways about your own contributions, whatever it is, you pay attention to it, right? So when you have your own basic needs, that's how it's going to be in that way. So let me clarify this Seven of Cups here. So the King of Cups reversed, so there's no support, but the Seven of Wands is alright, so you're feeling resilience. The Eight of Pentacles reversed, there's no perfection. Two of Wands reversed, you're not planning on something. Nine of Swords is upright because you're feeling like you're going to have trauma. That's the way it goes. And when you feel like that, you think, well, this is not going to end well. I'm not going to participate. I'm not going to get what I want. Because that's how it seems to be. There are things that you need to understand, to pay attention to. This is the way you need to understand. And that's how it seems to be. So overall, during the days that I just told you about, from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you pay attention on how you're feeling in one or another. That's how it seems to be. This is not like a backdrop situation. This is not how you're going to affect your own weekend or whatever it is, right? Or you're not affecting your own Friday. You know what I mean. So you have to pay attention on whether you're going to do that, right? You have to be sincere. You have to know exactly what you're going to do. That's how it seems to be in that way, right? So let's see what's going on for the middle to the right side, please. Queen of Wands reversed, follow the Devil reversed, follow the Three of Swords reversed, follow the Three of Wands is upright. Yeah, because you want communication. And when you communicate, you do exactly what you're told to do. You have to be responsible on how you're feeling. That's how it seems to be. You pay attention on how you're feeling. That's how it seems to be. So if you're wondering what's going on between the Devil and the Three of Swords here, I'm going to clarify. The Seven of Swords reversed, but the Ten of Wands is alright. There's burdens here, right? So, it kind of is affecting the way of how it is, where you're trying to get what you deserve. When you have communication, you pay attention, whether you're feeling like you're going to have fear or whatever it is, because things are not, go along as it, right? It's like, why I need to be affecting like this, why I need to be observant, or, being who I am. That's how it seems to be. You have to look from your own motives, your own point of views, whatever it is. You pay attention on how you're feeling in one or another. That's how it seems to be. What's in the middle of this situation here? The Queen of Cups is upright, yeah, because you want empathy. You want to see two sides of a story here. One makes sense, one doesn't make sense. So you're trying to figure out what's happening in that way, because the way how this society works, you pay attention on what the universe is saying, right? So you have to take it by day, week by week, month to month, and year by year. If you look at that from that way, that's how it seems to be, right? So you have to remember that, okay, well, everything's fine, alright, I'll do it. That's how it seems to be. You have to know how you're feeling from one direction to the other direction. That's how it seems to be. But it doesn't make sense. Doesn't make like, okay, well, I know what to do, I got this, but that's how it seems to be, right? So let me see what's going on from the middle to the right, middle to left. So I'll do it a little bit differently. Two Wands is upright, follow the Seven of Wands reversed, follow the Three of Pentacles reversed, follow the Emperor reversed, follow the King of Pentacles reversed, the Four of Wands is upright. Yeah, so it does represent where you might be going to a wedding, maybe you're going to do that, maybe you're going to have celebration. That's how it seems to be. You have to pay attention on how you're feeling in one or another. It's like, okay, well, I need to do, I have to participate. Alright, that's how it seems to be, right? That's how it is, right? So if you look at the Four of Wands, it represents that Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, right? That's how it seems to be. But what's happening with the Four of Wands? Let me clarify. Lower is upright, follow the Knight of Cups is upright. So it does represent where you're feeling romance and you're having decisions because you have to get what you want. You have to, do what you can in one or another. So you can be representing, or opposing of, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio as zodiac signs. You can be dealing with another, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. You pay attention on how it seems to be. You deal with another Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So there are things that you need to understand. And you have to do that, right? You have to go with the flow, as it seems to be. That's how it seems to be. Let's have between the middle and the left side, please. The Six of Wands reversed. Follow the Strength card is upright. Follow the Nine of Pentacles reversed. Follow the Empress reversed. Follow the Justice upright. Yeah, because you're telling the truth, right? When the Nine of Pentacles is over here, it means that you're feeling like uncomfortable. You don't want to do this. But why are you feeling like that? Why that there are things that you need to understand that, right? It's like, why are you feeling that you need to understand about how you're feeling in one or another, right? So if you'd like to think that you're feeling uncomfortable while you're doing it anyway, that's why it seems to be. If you have the strength, if you have bravery, you pay attention to it. There are ways that you need to understand in order to do that. You have to go with the flow. That's how it seems to be, right? Because you have to understand that there is a silver lining to every single situation, right? That's how it is. But you pay attention. What's happening with this Nine of Pentacles here? The Nine of Swords is alright, yeah, because you're feeling trauma, right? That's how it seems to be. What's happening with this Nine of Swords here? The Nine of Pentacles is upright, yeah, because you want to feel that you need to have trust. You have the ability from having your telling the truth, having the trust. That's the way it seems to be. You need to understand about how you're going to prove your point in the ways of how you can deal with it. That's how it seems to be. There are things they need to understand on whether or not you pay attention on how you're feeling, because it's based on that. It's based on why I'm clarifying this, because that's how it is, right? So it's like, it does look like a null science reading, but it doesn't, right? It may be evolved that I'm talking to every single zodiac sign who's out there, who's playing this video, but you have to pay attention on what's going on in that way, right? You have to pay attention on what's happening in this way. What's in the middle of this situation? The Tower is upright, yeah, because it does represent transformation. Everything is going to change. So there are things that you need to understand, that everything is going to change. And that's how it is, right? It's like, why you need to figure this out, why it needs to be that. So that's something between the middle and the right side, middle to left. Empress reverse, follow the Tower reverse, follow the Star is upright, follow the Moon reverse, follow the Chariot is upright. Yeah, because you want progress, right? So when you have progress, you pay attention on how you're feeling. When you have the Star is upright, there's inspiration. You pay attention on how you're feeling. That's why it seems to be that. That's why, okay, well, I need to do, alright, that's how it seems to be, I got this. It's like, yeah, but you need to understand that there are lessons that you must learn first in order to do that. That's why it seems to be. There are things that you need to understand in order to achieve them. That's how it is, right? You can't go ahead and say, alright, well, I don't know what to do, I quit. No, the way of how this is, you need to go with the flow, right? If you have progress, if you have inspiration, you pay attention on how you're feeling. That's why it seems to be that. What's happening between the middle and the left side? The sun is upright, the Magician is upright, Father High Priest is upright, Father Emperor is upright, Father the Lovers is upright. Yeah, because you want structure, you want to use your inner voice, you want to have skill, you want to use positivity, because that's how it seems to be. You're trying to stay positive as much as you can. You need to evolve what you're looking for, because it's based on that. It's based on how you can do it, right? That's why you need to understand about the way how this is. That's how it seems to be. What's in the middle of this situation? The Strength card reverse. Yeah, because it means that in that way, in that how it seems to be, you're thinking that you're not being brave enough. You're being scared. You don't know how to explain or express yourself of how you're feeling. That's why it seems to be that. It's like, why I need to figure this out, why I'm having this issues, that's the way it seems to be. So you need to figure out this whole entire situation, whether you like it or not. But it's based on that. It's based on how you're feeling of how it is. What's happening between the middle and the right side? The Wheel of Fortune, sorry, you're having good luck. The Hangman reverse, there's no restrictions. The Emperor reverse, there's no structure. Just reverse, and the Strength reverse. Yeah, see, they are basically feeling like, no bravery at all. They're being scared. The middle represents the scary as well, right? So that's the way it seems to be. The Just reverse, you're not telling the truth. I don't know why you're not telling the truth, but the way you have this is you're trying to do exactly what you need to do, but that's how it seems to be. You have to pay attention on how you're feeling because of how it seems to be. You have to have your own decency, your own self-respect, your own ways, your own commandments, whatever it is, because that's how it seems to be. What's happening between the middle and the left side? The star is upright, there's inspiration. The road is upright, there's completion. Judgment reverse, you're not taking action. Death star reverse, there's no endings. Moon reverse, there's mislimitations. Tower reverse, there's no transformation. Chariot reverse, there's no progress. The Fool reverse, there's no change. Magician right, there's skill. Yeah, because you pay attention on how you're feeling, right? So it's like you need to understand about when you're having this, that's the way it seems to be. That's why you need to understand about moving forward. That's the way it seems to be. It's like that's how it is. What's in the middle? The Devil's upright. Yeah, because you're feeling like, why I'm feeling this, violation. Why I'm feeling violated? Because things are not going as planned. It's like, why are you feeling like this? Why that there are things you need to learn that? That's how it is. So it's like you need to have the ability from knowing the way how it is. So like at the bottom of these cards. So if I start from the right side, Three of Pentacles here, there's no excitement. You have the Wheel of Fortune reverse, there's no you having bad luck. The Four of Cups reverse, there's no loyalty, right? Because you're not being loyal. You're not having a distraction here. I mean, the Page of Cups, sorry, there's loyalty, right? That's the way it seems to be. The Five of Swords, sorry, there's basically you're having conflict here. Page of Swords, sorry, there's education. The King of Pentacles, there's insecurity. Page of Wands reverse, upright, there's invention. Nine of Cups reverse, there's no fulfillment. The King of Wands represents like there might be passion, that's the way it goes. But the Strength card is upright, there's bravery. And the Ten of Pentacles over there is basically wealth. You pay attention on how you're feeling. The Justice reverse, you're not telling the truth because of the way of how it seems to be, right? It's like why I'm feeling like this, why I need to be, how it is. It's like that's why it needs to be that, that's the way it seems to be. So you need to understand on the way of how this reading is going to go, whether you like it or not. But it's like why I'm having this problem. Because things are not going to end well, right? So let's see what's happening in the middle. You have the Two Pentacles upright because you're going to balance things. Ace of Wands is upright. There's basically new beginnings. The High Priest, there's no inner voice. The Magician upright, you're going to have skill. Then the Five of Cups is upright. There's basically grief. And the Chariot is upright. There's basically progress, right? So when you have progress, you have ability from the right wrong perspective, right? The Queen of Wands is upright. There's basically charisma. The Hermit is upright. You're having solitude, but you're looking for a soulmate. The Hierophant reverse, there's no guidance. But the Ace of Pentacles upright, there's basically you're looking for prosperity, like you're looking for money. And the King of Cups is upright. There's support. And the Five of Swords upright, there's basically conflict. That's the way it seems to be. And everything is basically in completion, right? So it's like, why are you feeling like this? Why that there are things they need to understand that? It's like, why I need to back off, That's why it seems to be that. So let's see what's going on, what the universe is saying. And let's see. let's see what's going on. So this does look like an all signs reading, but it doesn't look like an all signs reading. But it sounds like it because I'm talking to it. I'm talking to all of you about it, but it seems to be very, practical of how it seems to be, right? So it's like, how would it be feeling of how it is in one way or another? That's the way it seems to be. So it's like, how it would be possible to make it possible, So let's see what's happening between the middle and the right side, middle to the left. 5 cups reversed, there's no grief. The 10, the short reversed, there's no conclusion. 3 pentacles reversed, there's excitement. The 10 of cups reversed, there's no completion. The 6 pentacles reversed, there's kindness. Yeah, because you're going to have kindness. So you're going to have kindness, you're going to be, valuable. You're going to, exactly how you're going to be responsible, how you're feeling. That's why it seems to be. It's like, okay, I know what to do, I got this, alright, that's how it seems to be. So it's like, alright, that's what it seems to be. What's happening between the middle and the left side? Ace 1 started, there's new beginnings. The page of swords started, there's education. A1 started, there's going to be speed. The page of pentacles, there's upright, there's prospects. The judge started, you're going to take action. Queen of swords started, there's independence. Third one started, there's communication. Yeah, because that's how it is, right? So when you're showing your independence, you're going to show it. That's why it seems to be that. It's like, okay, I know what to do, alright. That's how it seems to be. So during the week from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, from June 6th, June 7th, and June 8th of 2025, during this year, you pay attention about what's going on through this whole entire reading. That's why it's based on that. So it's like, alright, this is the way it seems to be. So let's have something on the right side with this kindness card. The 6 of swords here, there's no movement. Queen of pentacles here, there's no stability. 2 of cups here, there's no relationships. 10 of wands here, there's no burdens. The 5 of pentacles here, there's no insecurity. The 10 of spheres, there's no healing. Lovers, there's decisions. Yeah, you're going to do that. Right, that's the way it seems to be. And that's how it's going to occur. That's the way it goes. What's in the middle of this situation? The Hangman is alright. There's going to be stillness, but there's going to be lots of restrictions. So you have to pay attention on how you're going to be feeling during this whole entire situations. Because the way of how it is, it's that you're going to do as you're going to be told to do. You're going to be responsible, how you're going to be interacting, and this is the way it seems to be in that way. So it's like how it's going to be very way about how it is. And I know for a fact you're going to, this is the way it seems to be. But I'm going to read you all the Enchanted Mapp, and it's going to be very interesting indeed. So this is the way it happens. This is the way it seems to be as it is. So let's see what's going on. And let's see what's going on in here. Let's see. So it says that this oracle card, it says number 44 reverse is strength is reversed. So this is going to be very interesting indeed. Let's see. So it says for the strength card reversed, it says when you see the strength card reversed, pay particular attention to your health. For this indicates that your body, mind, and spirit need strengthening at this time. Exercise, rest, and proper nutrition are necessary to keep you in balance. Don't deplete yourself through overwork, as now is the time for building your stamina. Perhaps you feel the bonds weakening in relationship. If they are in a danger of being broken, they may need repair. Attend to them before the burden gets too heavy. Be strong. Face the reality of your relationship at this time and give it your attention. For any fragile threads may give way let go of whatever robs you of your life force and trust that something better will take its place. So basically it means that you have to understand that you pay attention about your health, pay attention about how you're feeling, pay attention about how you're going to interact, but that's how it's going to be. You need to understand, but the way how this is, the way how it's going to be, in that way, it's like, okay, well, I know what to do, alright, I need to, exactly how I'm going to plan it. That's the way it seems to be. It's like, okay, well, this is the way it seems to be, I need to pay attention, that's why it seems to be that, right? So before I let you go, try to pay attention about what's going on through whole entire this week. Do exactly what you're told to do. Be responsible. How you're feeling. How it's going to be, and that's how it is, right? That's how it's going to be jumbling and how it is, right? So you do exactly what you're told to do, and you have to do exactly what you're going to do in that way. And it's like, okay, well, this is seems to be, I got this, but this is the way it seems to be. So you have to pay attention on how you're feeling, but that's how it is. So I hope you all like this video. Please give a like, please give a comment, and enjoy. And this is the way of how it is. But thank you so much. Have a wonderful day to all, and I will see you next time. Thank you, and bye for now. Really, thanks, and bye, thank you, and bye.